So we're here on all fours. We want to make sure our shoulders and arms are going straight down to the ground, and the same with the pelvis and the legs. So we don't want to be too far forward or too squished up like this. We want to make like two wonderful posts of the arms and the legs for the spine to just hang along. It's the cosmic washing line for all the chakras, all the nervous system, everything running through the spine, just suspended. Great. So if we pad our hands into the ground like we would our feet, releasing the wrists and letting the fingertips and fingers just rest on the ground. That's great. So if you're standing and using a chair, you can also pad the weight from one hand to the other. And letting the hands and the palms rest into the ground. The fingers are relaxed and the shoulder girdle is wide. And then the same with the knees, just gently lifting the knees off one and then the other, alternating to rearrange the pelvis and the lower spine. So if you're standing and using a chair, you can pad through your feet to rearrange your pelvis and spine. Great. And let everything settle here. So we want the spine nice and long. So you can take a wiggle of your spine, shoulders and pelvis, and release the head and the neck, realigning the spine to come to all fours. We're going to take the cat movement. So what we're going to do is breathe in here, filling the belly, and then breathing out. Let the head and tail drop towards the ground, arching the spine, making sure the head and neck are released, and then breathing in. Everything unfurls, so the tailbone, sitting bones moving away, only looking as far as is comfortable, so we don't break in the spine, like dropping into the shoulders. We want to keep the shoulder girdle nice and wide. And then breathing out, let everything drop towards the ground. Then breathing in again, everything unfurls. And breathing out. So taking this in your own time. You can go at your own speed. Breathing in, everything unfurls. So even as you're standing on a chair, really letting the breath come in and out and ripple through the spine. Breathing out. Breathing in. Everything grows away and unfurls. Breathing out. Breathing in. And at any time, if this gets too much for your wrists, you can pad the hands in the ground, or you can sit back and give your wrists a shake out. It's the same with the knees. Doing what's comfortable for you. So breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, filling all the body and the spine with breath, breathing out, breathing in. Lovely. So from here you want to come back to a neutral spine, so it's suspended like a washing line, not a sagging washing line, a very energized, alive washing line. And then just take the tail and the spine to the left, so as though I'm trying to look at my tail if I had a long tail. So head and pelvis to the left, and then sweeping round to the right. Only going as far as is comfortable, but just being curious how the spine moves from side to side. Great. exploring how does your spine feel. So even doing this standing, you can let your head and spine try and have a look at each other and pelvis. And then coming back to neutral, nice and long spine, and pressing the hands into the ground, releasing the wrists if that's too much. Great. So I'm just going to move forward so you can see. So from here, so if this is too much for your wrists and you have a tall bolster or cushion, you can drop down onto your forearms like that if that's comfy, or you can drop down onto your forearms onto the ground like so. And if you're holding the chair, anytime your wrist becomes sore, you can just stand up, making sure your knees are soft and you uncurl and the head's the last to come up, and take a break on your wrists. So I'm going to stay up on all fours for now. If not, you can drop down to your forearms or use cushions to be a bit higher. So since we've woken our feet up nicely already, let's take a foot. So I'm going to place the toes underneath, and this is the movement I'm going to do. So I'm going to press the toes along the floor and extend the leg, and I'm constantly thinking how my pelvis is. So as I tuck the toes under, I want to keep the hands soft in the ground, or if you're on the floor, on the chair I mean, and we're going to press the toes along the floor like so. So standing and then releasing the foot like that. Standing, you can also do the same. I'll get a chair and demonstrate it in a minute. So we're going to tuck the toes under, and then on an in breath, going to breathe in, fill the belly, and on an out breath, going to press the foot away, keeping the pelvis on the top nice and stable. So we're not opening the pelvis like so or dropping into the standing leg here. We want to keep this nice and steady. Tucking the toes, breathing in, breathing out, extending the leg away, and the spine still moving away from the toes. Great, and then breathing in, bringing it back. Breathing out, tucking the toes and sliding the foot away. Breathing in, undoing the toes and putting the weight back onto the knee. Pressing the hands into the ground to release the wrists. At any time, drop onto the arms if you're using the chair. So I'm going to demonstrate that now. Apart from I don't have a chair, I'll be 1 second. So hopefully you can see here. So you want to just see my feet. So just doing this for the feet. So I'm not too close to the chair and I'm not too far away. I want to keep the feet spread on the ground. So I'm going to breathe in here and then breathe out. Just lengthen the leg away. And again, I'm not dropping in the pelvis or lifting this leg. And then breathing in, tucking the foot back in. Breathing out so we can press the heel up and push the foot away along the floor, keeping the leg nice and long, and then breathing in, placing it back. So that's what we'll do for using the chair. Pressing the foot away, breathing in, bringing the foot back. That's lovely. Breathing in, breathing out, pressing the foot away, keeping the spine nice and long, breathing in, placing the foot back. Great. So if you haven't already, I'll just go back onto all fours for you. So if you're using a chair, keep doing that. If you haven't already, we're going to swap feet. So we're going to breathe in, tuck the toes under, breathe out, press the foot away along the floor, nice and long in the spine. So from the little toe to the head, and then breathing in, drawing the foot back. Great. Breathing in, tucking the toes and breathing out, lengthening the leg from the little toe all the way to the top of the head. Breathing in again, drawing the foot back, untucking the toes under and breathing out, sending the foot away from the pelvis, making sure we don't drop in the other leg or lift the leg at all. So keeping the leg and the spine really nice and long. So here, take it in your own time. We're just going to alternate legs now, keeping nice and long. Not forgetting at any time you can come down onto your forearms or use a bolster, or also take a break as well. So releasing, really keeping the leg nice and long and the spine nice and long. Keeping your own time, adjusting whenever you need to adjust, and taking a rest. So making this one your last one, breathing out, breathing in, last one on the other foot, breathing out, breathing in, lovely. And then come back and we'll release our wrists, releasing the hands and the wrists and the spine. So from here, if you're able to come back to all fours, pressing the hands into the ground like we did at the start and releasing the knees, or if you're still standing, so I'll demonstrate that on the chair in a moment, or you can drop down onto a bolster here onto your forearms if that's comfortable too. Maybe I'll demonstrate that from here actually. Well, yes. So we're going to breathe in, tuck the toes under, breathe out and extend the neck along. Breathing in, lovely, and then breathing out, extending the spine. Then we're going to breathe out, drop the head and the tail, and then breathing in and uncurl. Breathing, so as we uncurl, at the end of the uncurling of the spine, we're going to tuck the toes to breathe out again and send the other leg along the floor. Lovely, and then breathing in here. And then breathing out, head and spine, curl. And then breathing in, uncurl the spine and tuck the toes. To breathe out and press the leg away. And then breathing in, bringing the leg back. Breathing out, head and tail into an arch. Breathing in, everything extends, tucking the toes. Breathing out, pressing the foot away. That's great. So I'm going to show that without the bolster. So you can do this on the chair as well. So we're going to breathe in, tuck the toes under, breathe out, send the leg away. Everything else is stable and sturdy and energized from the foot. Breathing in, drawing back. Breathing out, head and tailbone drop towards the ground. Breathing in, unfurl the spine. Tuck the toes under, breathing out. So the spine realigns and the leg moves out. Then breathing in, breathe out, head and tail going towards each other to the ground. Breathing in, uncurl the spine and tuck the toes, lengthening the head and the toes away from each other. Breathing in, breathing out, the head and the tail drop towards the ground. Breathing out, everything unfurls and tuck the toes. Breathing out here, lovely. Lengthening the leg, making sure my pelvis is nice and stable. Breathing in, breathing out, head and tail drop towards the ground. Breathing in, uncurl, tuck the toes. Breathing out, press the foot away. Breathing in, it gathers the leg in. Breathing out, the head and tail drop. Lovely. Breathing, that was breathing out. Breathing in, lovely, uncurling the spine and tuck the toes. Breathing out, press the toes and the foot away. Then breathing in, drop the leg in. Breathing out, head and tail drop towards the floor. Breathing in here, everything uncurls, the toes tuck. Then breathing out, press that foot away. Lovely. And then breathing in, breathing out, head and tail drop. Lovely. Let's make this the last one. breathing in, press that foot away, nice and long, lovely, and then relax. So come back to all fours, press the hands into the ground, or sit back and release the hands like so. So I'll just demonstrate that if you're using the chair. So this is just so you can see the feet. So you're a good distance away from the chair, not too far away, not too close. So we want to be a bit more like that. So we're going to breathe in, tuck the toes, breathing out, pushing that leg away, extending the foot, breathing in, drawing it back, breathing out. You can keep the knees soft, just dropping the head and curling the spine so the tailbone's gently tucking as well. Breathing in, that unfurls so the spine's nice and long and the toes tuck, ready to breathe out and press the foot away, nice and long. And then breathing in, everything comes back together again. I'm going to drop the head and the tail. So if you can't do this on the floor, you can still do this on the chair. And then breathing in, extending the spine so the tailbone and the head are nice and long. And the toes tuck, ready to breathe out and push the foot away so the leg is nice and long on the ground. That's great. And then breathing in, bring that back in, breathing out, dropping the head and the tail, gently curling so the knees are soft as well. That's great. On breathing in and uncurling that, tucking the toes, lengthening the leg behind you. That's great. And then breathing in, placing the foot, breathing out, head and tailbone drop. Breathing in, everything uncurls. Great. And the toe lifts to extend on the out breath. Lovely. And then placing the foot back. So from here, if you're standing and using the chair, soften the knees and uncurl. So we come to a standing. And if you're on all fours, we're going to gently make our way to standing, not forgetting that we are making 1,000 movements in between sitting and all fours and standing. So whichever way is comfortable for you to get up off the floor, taking your time. Perhaps you can pause in an area that feels a bit stuck or you want to send breath to it, but uncurling, softening the knees and the feet all the way to standing. And just take a moment there.